Hello, infidels, and welcome back for another episode of FMLPK. Just a quick reminder before we get things started. The deadline is September 26th, Saturday, 3 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Be sure to make your changes before that and select your teams, your bench, sort out your bench, and pick your captain. And let's get straight into it, man. How was game week 2 for everyone?
It wasn't too bad. I scored 73 points, which I feel overall is a decent score. But considering the way the teams has been scoring in the last couple of weeks, I mean, look at Leeds. They've scored 7 goals in 2 games. They've just been promoted. So considering it could have been a little higher, but I'm not too disappointed with 73.
All right. How about you, Murtaza?
61 all out for me. Not bad. Our captain, a few concerns which I had was the City coverage not being there. I don't want to say coverage.
Same.
I want some players from there. And I was praying it's not Sterling with a hat-trick, and thank God it wasn't.
Yeah, but it's KDB goal assist.
KDB looked good, man. So good.
I didn't see the match. Couldn't see the match. But KDB has started where he left off. The way he started last season. KDB is gold. I don't have him, but he needs to be in the team.
All right. Well, let's not get sidetracked, guys, and move along. We'll discuss all this stuff later. So I also had a pretty decent weekend, 73 points or something like that, despite Pulisic not being back in action. And I had Mane for that first game week. I didn't make any changes. I banked, and then I had Mane for the second game week as well. Just goes to show that that just looking at one game week is not enough, and you've got to sort of look at patterns and like the previous data and stuff like that to make your decisions. And Mane was looking very sharp and 2 goals for the good. So that was pretty decent. So let's get straight into it, man. Salman, I'm going to start you off. We're going to pull up your team here real quick and tell us what you're thinking over the next 2 or 3 game weeks and how you're going to tackle this game week.
One of the suggestions that I made that I didn't implement, thankfully, was to get an Everton player instead of Trent Arnold. Because they were playing Chelsea, which I didn't do. I decided to bank it, which turned out to be a better decision because Everton conceded a lot of goals and Liverpool kept a clean sheet against Chelsea. So that's that. But I've already made my change. It's a little risky. After the discussions we had before recording, I've gotten rid of Werner and brought in DCL. Everton are playing really well. I think the Ancelotti has finally been able to gel the team together. I think they had a good second half last season, and they're just continuing from there. So I didn't want to miss out on DCL. His price was rising. It'll probably rise even more based on his performances. And Everton have easy matches coming up. Apart from that, I was lucky to have Son. I retained him. The only injury concern I have is Saint Maximin, who's yellow. So yeah, that's the only change I'm making.
All right. So Murtaza, any comments on that?
Did Van Bissaka not play? Was it an injury concern? What happened?
Who?
Van Bissaka.
Van Bissaka didn't start, didn't play. I am so happy that United lost. It is that, the first game of the season, you need to have the best starting 11 as a show of intent. You can't have Bissaka. He's the best defender in that team on the bench. So yeah, I was quite angry. I'm assuming that there'll be sense will prevail in Ole's mind, and he will have Bissaka on instead of Fosu Mensah or whatever that kid is. But so I'm glad United lost. He'll make the changes that are supposed to be made. He'll bring back Bissaka, but he didn't start. He was on the bench, remained on the bench. But the good thing is I got Trent on, who I put on the bench. So that was 6 points.
And
All right.
So yeah.
Oba schedule you're not concerned about going forward?
I am. I saw Abba playing. He was incredibly lazy. It was just horrible the way he was playing. I mean, I could have dropped him. I mean, I would have taken him off instead of Lacazette. Lacazette was playing a better game. Luck favored Arteta. They brought Nketiah on and he scored and everything. But Lacazette was playing better than Oba. Oba is someone I will give maybe 1 or 2 weeks more. But do consider that for the last 2 seasons consecutive, he scored more than 20 goals. So he will turn around at some point in time. Do you want to wait for it, or do you want to, throw him out now and bring him back later? Is the question. I just needed to get DCL on because they've got easy matches coming up. Oba is the captain, so he's a sure starter. So I'm going to wait and watch another 1 or 2 weeks, and then see how to. If his performances don't improve, for me, a goal is not what I expect from a person like Oba. It has to be a goal and assist, goal or 3 points, goal or 2 points bonus. But 1 goal is not enough for a person who's at 12 million. It's just not enough. And then I have Adams, who I am keeping a watch on. Against Southampton have been horrible, and I've got 3 players from Southampton. Smallbone is a bencher. He's at 4.5, so he's not a worry. McCarthy is 4.5. Adams is a 6 million striker. So I have taken out DCL, taken out Werner, brought in DCL. So I've got, I think, 2.3 million in the bank. I can change Adams and get in someone else of a higher value, and change 2 strikers up front for this week.
All right. So I just want to quickly add to that I feel like you've jumped the gun a little bit with the DCL transfer. I mean, that's a transfer, no doubt, but maybe I don't see him getting a lot of points after his hat trick, as tends to be the case so many times, that you just don't end up getting back-to-back hauls. And they're playing a Crystal Palace side next, who have been pretty impressive so far this season. So defensively speaking, of course, as well. And then sucker punching the other team. I just feel like, they played West Brom, who we got the hat trick against. They play Chelsea next week. So Werner would have been like the ideal striker to have going into the next game week, and then probably thinking about getting DCL in after they have played Crystal Palace.
Yeah. So DCL has been was a consistent player last season. I expect him to be a consistent player this season. I'm certainly not expecting hat tricks or anything, but maybe, as I said, with Oba, a goal and 3 bonus points, goal and assist, something on those lines is as good as Werner getting a goal and assist. Werner is 9.5, a goal and assist, and DCL, I think, is 7.2. 7.2 goal and assist. So it's just more value for the money.
I don't see him getting a goal and assist against Crystal Palace, is what I'm telling you, my friend. But I do see Werner getting a goal and or an assist against.
It's been a crazy season. It's been a crazy start.
It's been 2 game weeks, man. Are you high?
Yeah. No. But Leeds scored 3 goals against Liverpool. Did you expect that?
No, actually, I feel like Leeds has.
So Manchester United conceded against.
Leeds has been lucky, my friend. They have not been creating that many chances like Bamford. 70% of the chances he usually gets, they've been living on scraps, and they've just been very efficient. But they're not Jamie Vardy. No one is Jamie Vardy. This goal scoring is going to go down. Timu Pukki was fucking scoring 6 goals in 4 matches, and what the fuck happened to him?
Yeah, that's fine. But it took him 9-10 weeks. Pukki, you don't get lucky scoring 3 goals against Liverpool.
No,
You don't.
I feel like you just watch Leeds a little bit more before you jump into anything. I mean, I'm not saying
But
that
I'm not getting any.
I don't have any Leeds player.
Yeah, I've got Dallas as a
Anyway,
defender.
my point is, I feel like you just jumped the gun with this DCL transfer. I'm not saying it's a bad transfer. I'm saying that you should have done it next week. But that's just my 2 cents on it.
Yeah,
And
Werner is not on penalty duty. It's Jorginho. So any penalties that come,
by the way, about that, Jorginho might not even play the next game, and Werner has a very good penalty record. And with Jorginho missing the penalty against Liverpool, and him playing very poorly as it is, and like with Pulisic possibly coming back or not coming back, I feel like Werner is like the prime candidate to sort of take the penalty now.
Pulisic is not coming back. He's a red dot.
If he's not coming back, I'm saying that Werner probably takes the penalty. What if Jorginho doesn't play next week? Then I feel like Kovacic and Kante are more likely to keep their place, and maybe he's going to like if Hakim Ziyech is fit again, then I don't see Jorginho starting.
Jorginho was.
And West Brom have conceded 2 penalties already in 2 game weeks.
Yeah, but Jorginho had amongst the most minutes of any Chelsea player last season. So just assuming that Jorginho is not going to play or he's not going to take penalties,
he didn't.
He
play
is the penalty
last
taker.
Few games, and now they don't have Waliany, which makes Werner the go-to guy for penalties, in my opinion. And I feel like Lampard might say, okay, if Werner gets taken down like he has in 2 game weeks, right? With his pace, he's been brought down and a penalty has been given, that he might get to convert his own penalties. Is very much on the cards, I feel.
Yeah, very possible.
Yeah. So anyway, have you made any other changes?
No, not yet. I have one more change that I can make without costing me any points. So I'm going to wait another couple of days and see if I want to make that change or not. My only concern is the COVID situation.
I mean, well, that's not your only concern, but it is a concern. I can see 2-3 concerns on your team right now, my friend.
And those are Oba and?
Oba and this Saint Maximin.
Yeah, those are the 2 I discussed.
And your striker situation.
So I think
is good. DCL is good. Adams is, even in my opinion, good. I mean, he's been unlucky not to score. He's just lacking that clinical edge. But anyway, yeah, there's Saint Maxim and there's Aubameyang. So, like I said, a couple of more concerns that I should be worried about. But listen,
these are the 2 concerns that I discussed a little before. So maybe you were missing out on that discussion.
I was not.
I'll repeat. Oba is someone I will watch out. Oba has scored more than 20 goals 2 seasons running, so it's a
but his new role is far more constricted. What you mentioned, what you said he was being lazy, I think is just his new role. They're playing much more rigid now. He doesn't have the same freedom he did last season. And if that continues to be the case, then this Arteta side is more disciplined than that of last year's. When he took over. So
Omar, he was playing in the same. He was playing in the same position as he normally plays when Lacazette is up front. But in any case, the Oba is someone I will keep a watch out for another couple of weeks. He's.
And so, are you going to stick with Son as your captain?
Yes.
All right, cool. Let's get back to that. Murtaza, I want you to pull up your team, if you will, real quick.
Okay.
And walk us through what you're thinking. Have you made any changes? Oh, you mentioned that you had made 3 changes.
2 changes.
2 changes. Oh, you didn't bank one last week?
No, I didn't. I got in Martial for Ings last week, which was
okay.
And in hindsight, could have saved that. And I've done my -4 change. I couldn't wait on getting my Wolves asset, which has been Podence, and KDB is in for Abba for me.
All right.
I'm not liking the goalie, McCarthy. Should have gone with Ryan, but now even Martinez is looking like a good pick for 4.5. I'm not touching the goalie till maybe Wildcard or if I have 2 changes banked.
But Southampton have been surprisingly poor.
Burnt, man. Just been burnt by them. Except for Danny Ings.
They looked like the same team the second game, man. They didn't even change it up. Same holes, kept getting attacked.
No, but they were unlucky. They played the first half really well, in my opinion. It's just that high line is costing them, especially a bigger team, as it were, against Tottenham. But yeah, I've been burnt as well. I had 3 guys on my team. But anyway, Podence is a good pick. I think with the Wolves fixtures, the way they're looking, is that why you got him in?
Yeah, exactly. And although Pereira last weekend worked out for me with West Brom going down to
10 points, right? 10 points?
Yeah, he did. So I just wanted to free up some cash because next week I'm going to look for maybe an upgrade to Souček. And I'm fairly happy with my defense. Taylor has a good run of fixtures coming. Burnley is fine.
But you wouldn't want to give Pereira a chance against the Chelsea defense?
I like
it was absolutely shambolic over the weekend. I mean, they were just terrible defensively.
I don't want to. That's fine. He was fine for me, and maybe I upgrade Souček to him. But I thought Podence plug and forget for 5 game weeks is a good bet while I tinker sometimes.
It allows you to make your move sooner than next week.
Yeah. And I think right now we need to be a little more aggressive because had I gone for KDB, knowing I wanted him at the time, ahead of time, I could have saved that 0.1, which kind of priced me out.
Yeah, he just increased this in the last few hours. His price went up at the time that we're recording this on Tuesday night. Crazy. I saw him this morning when I got into work and he was 11.5 and I was like, all right, I have time. Let me think about this. And I've been thinking about this since last night. But anyway, so you're looking to captain De Bruyne for next week?
So far, it's between KDB and Salah for me. The other punt is Werner, of course. We both are thinking that, considering West Brom has been the whipping team so far. It's just that KDB and Salah seem to be in form. So in terms of that, and Salah at home again, he does well. KDB just looked insane. He was playing really high up, and I believe Bernardo Silva is still injured, or I don't know.
Yeah, he is.
So
he won't be starting.
I don't know if Mahrez plays the cup game and he does the same setup for Leicester. Leicester is also looking vulnerable in the back. I don't know if, again, it's City, man. They can score against anyone. So let's see.
Well, interesting about De Bruyne. Guess who had the most number of penalty touches?
Sterling?
No, it was tied, Sterling and De Bruyne.
Wow. Sterling looked good, man. I was surprised he didn't get a haul because he was positioning himself. He was there in the box, getting the crosses. But the penalty now, we scored a record 43 goals in the Premier League this week, I think.
I'm sure it's a record.
It's been the highest goal scoring week, I think, in Premier League.
Goal fest.
And
we've won.
Everyone is saying, hey, it's going to be a record penalty season. So load up on penalty takers for sure. If it's a bet between Sterling and KDB.
Man, I just like his stats. The way he had the most successful passes in the opposition half in the final third, the most number of penalty area touches. I mean, he was just like amazing.
And he played the most successfully defensive team that finished off last season. Wolves is no joke, right?
Yeah.
Considering they play a bit
I mean,
open
well,
season,
Wolves are more weaker
open.
now and they've been playing more open.
But they are on paper a very good defensive team.
Yes.
So KDB starts like that against them, till the rest are good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, KDB is one of the most dangerous players in the league.
A few guys I am interested in looking out for in 4.5 is the Villa defender, like the one who's
Konsa.
Yeah.
Konsa.
Lamptey, he's fit again. There was a injury concern, but it was a hamstring tightness. He looks very good, and I think in terms of the midfield, the Leicester guy,
Harvey Barnes.
No, Harvey Barnes looked very good, but I think he's back. Madison is back, right? So he's subbed on. So I think uska role thoda decrease ho jayega. But I liked Leicester Leeds mein the penalty taker.
Klitsch?
Klitsch.
Yeah, he was a good.
How much is he for?
I think he's at 5.
So that's a good one to have.
So that's about it. I didn't want to wait. The changes.
Yeah, same here.
Fair enough.
I didn't want to wait.
All right. Then let me pull up my team real quick. And I'll just share with you what I was thinking.
And you disappointed, really.
Me?
Man United.
Man U performed exactly as one would expect them to perform. Fucking shitty. There's no other way to put it, dude.
This is your game week 2 score, right?
I mean, they have Harry fucking Maguire, man. What were they thinking?
They were the highest, most expensive defender that they've taken. Doesn't make sense.
I mean, I don't know.
He's not worth the money that they bought him for.
Anyway, so this is what my team is looking like. I've made 2 changes. I dropped Omar for Kevin De Bruyne, and I dropped Adams for Mitrovic. Now, in an ideal world, I would get to keep Adams, but
Sorry, what was the first one? Or you dropped Oba for De Bruyne?
Oba for De Bruyne, and then Mitrovic for Adams. Now, I would have liked to keep Adams, keep faith with him, but my problem was that I already have 3 Southampton guys. Okay, so and I'm just getting burned. So I would like to have 2, no more than 2. So that's why I decided to dump Adams, and Mitrovic just slotted in really nicely because they have some sweet fixtures coming up. And all the stats, the classic striker stats that you want, Mitrovic had. Like, I was tempted to get in that of Leeds, but my concern with that was that Leeds has just not been creating enough, and Bamford has been uncharacteristically efficient right now, which he is not. He's no Jamie Vardy, I assure you. So I feel like
he had a great last season in the championship.
He did. He was even the player of the championship 2 or 3 seasons ago. But my point is that he's not that efficient. And with Leeds creating that much, and their coach pointing this out very openly, I feel like that their goal scoring might go down a little bit. It's not sustainable. So I didn't want to get into that hype. Mitrovic is a proven Premier League scorer, easy fixtures, same price bracket. So it was an easy one for me. And all things considered, I was very tempted to get Phil Foden instead of De Bruyne. But when I looked at the stats, like I mentioned, Kevin De Bruyne was just head and shoulders above the rest. I mean, and only comparable in certain categories to Sterling, but far more well-rounded in terms of he can take corners, penalty kicks, free kicks, and has the same type of output threat in the sense that he can give assists and he can score goals. So he can score in a variety of ways, and he fits in with my team theme, which is balance. So that's why I opted to get him. Now I was hot for Rodriguez. I am hot for Rodriguez going forward. But I understand that this game that they played against West Brom got them an unusually high tally. I don't see that happening in every game week where teams are scoring 5 goals a game, 6 goals a game. It's just not going to happen. Things are going to slow down. So, with that in mind, I just opted to not take that negative hit. I'm just going to keep my eye out on Pulisic and what's going to happen, and then see if I want to take a negative hit or not. And that's pretty much it. That's what my changes are. And this is actually my team, the way I intend to play it next week. As you can see, I've captained Werner. And again, it's because West Brom just not very convincing defensively speaking. I know someone would argue that perhaps Leeds also conceded so many goals, but they played Liverpool. So like I'm just looking at West Brom and they've just been terrible. That's why. And with Werner's pace, I feel like he could be the man. Obviously, I'm most likely going to change this to De Bruyne right before kickoff. But right now, at this point in time, I'm very convinced that this is the team for game week 3.
How much do you have in the bank?
So I have 1.8 in the bank now.
Why not get like Reed or Stevens upgraded or?
No, well, why not upgrade Pulisic to Christian Bale when he comes in next week, or like when he gets match fitness? I don't know what's going to happen.
Gareth Bale.
So I would like to have this money. I feel like people are going to jump on this Werner bandwagon. I feel like it's a good time. Like he's going to get some points next week. I think he's in this account. And Pulisic, while like he's in the red right now, I don't know, like Lampard indicated that he is getting closer and closer to fitness. And, I feel like maybe he does have a chance for game week 3. So that's pretty much it.
But I think the Pulisic is someone that probably needs to go for 2 reasons. One, he's got an unknown return date, and secondly, he's lost 0.1 in terms.
But he's
of
already lost the 0.1 value. Why would I take a negative hit on that now?
No. I don't want you to take a negative hit. All I'm saying is someone that you need to look out for, because his
I'm
return
very
date is
tempted
unknown.
to take that negative hit like right before kickoff or something like that. I mentioned that, but you know what? It could also be I might just give him another week. I might just because low ownership, and it's very clear that Frank Lampard is actually just trying not to rush him, which tells me how Lampard views him as a player, and I just think he's going to be explosive, and he's a nailed-on starter if he's available.
Yeah, absolutely. And he had a great season. What's your starting 11?
So my starting 11 right now is looking like this. I got McCarthy in the back against Burnley, and I have Walker Peters. Then I have Taylor of Burnley, Trent, Stephens, Mane, Reed, De Bruyne, Mitrovic, Werner, and Calvert-Lewin up front.
And what's your bench?
My bench is. And it's obvious why these guys are all on the benches, because they're playing Liverpool or City.
They're playing Liverpool, City, and Pulisic won't be playing.
Yeah.
But there's a chance Stephens might not play, and then holding.
I might just end up doing this, bringing Pulisic up to the front here. In fact, I'm just going to do this now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You see, even if Pulisic doesn't start and Stephens doesn't start, Justin automatically gets in.
And what if Pulisic comes on for 5 minutes?
If he comes on for 5 minutes, I'm going to be happy because he can score in 5 minutes.
But so can Justin against Man City.
So he has his fair chance. I'm giving it to him.
There is too much money in bunch, man. You're being super patient with this. I don't know how. That's a lot of money.
I got 73 points last weekend, so.
I know, but
without Pulisic.
Without Pulisic.
Yeah. So you'll get 73 more.
Without having a successful captain pick in Oba. And you know what? Fuck what the fucking wisdom and the crowd says, and like what the fucking all the tools say. Fuck them. This is my team. I'm pretty confident. And you know what? This is my season. It's going to be my fucking season. And I just want to mention our like what is it? Our silent partner, as it were. The person in this team of like whatever we are. I don't know what we are, but you know what? Fuck him too. Okay, he's a lucky son of a bitch who got these fucking points, because who in their right man has fucking Kane and Son and keeps them captain after the way they played last week? My fucking foot, okay? The whole professional world is getting burnt out there, and this motherfucker is scoring 120. Fuck off.
Murtaza, we've solved our viewership problem in the last minute and a half. But I do think I need to come back and be with Omar at such times. I don't know what he had for dinner or post dinner, but it's certainly working. So yeah. Great performance.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anyway,
please keep Pulisic, whose return date is unknown to even the doctor who's treating him, but clearly he'll be back in a couple of weeks. And
let's see. So anyway, quick reminder: the deadline is Saturday, 26 September, 3 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Be sure to make your changes and pick your team before that. And
Captain, you're keeping Werner, Murtaza. Who you're keeping? You've got KDB, right?
KDB, yeah.
Cool.
And who's it for you, Abba? What?
Son.
All right, yeah.
Playing Newcastle at home.
All right. So good luck then, guys, and stay tuned for next week. We'll be back, and someone will be laughing, and someone's gonna be crying, man.
As long as Christian Bale is playing, it's all okay.